here in a second.
Listen to the people. Listen to humanity. Listen to the parrot. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Listen to the people. Listen to humanity. Listen to the parrot. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV.
Do you know that there is a publishing company that wants to make life easier for you as a writer? This publishing company is called World Inkers Printing and Publishing. We publish in all different languages, and we're looking for writers of all genres, all formats. We're looking for scholars, ghostwriters, playwrights, poets, short fiction, novelists, you name it. We're looking for anybody who is interested in writing and the craft of writing to be in touch with us. You can reach us at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. With World Inkers Printing and Publishing, you do not require a lot of money to publish with us. Contact us today at info.worldinkers@gmail.com. Become a winner with other authors at World Inkers Printing and Publishing. Give us a shot. We will surely finish you. Welcome to World Inkers Network. I'm Dustin Pickering, your noble and honest host. Today we have Chad Sorg, and we're going to discuss Fishbowler, and we'll learn more about what that is. Chad Sorg believes artists are the original self-promoters, and acknowledging the good work of others is the best way to promote the self. For 10 years, he was the Fishbowler, living in public spaces and blogging. For 10 years, he promoted the Art in Motel Rooms art exhibit they helped create, manage, and promote. And at this point, over 400 creators have been involved themselves with Nada Dada Motel. In 2011 and 2012, he helped create the International Car Forest of the Last Church, mounting cars and buses vertically up from the ground. Since then, he's been in the New York Times, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, Time Magazine, and Ripley's Believe It or Not. He lives in his hometown of Fort Wayne, Indiana, quietly making oil paintings and cleaning windows. Welcome to the show, Chad. How are you today?
Thank you. Thanks, Dustin. Excellent.
So we're going to talk a little bit about Fishbowler. First thing, what is Fishbowler? What prompted this this imaginative quest of yours?
Well, what prompted it was an art show that we had called Nada Dada Motel. This show happens in motels and hotel rooms, and I needed something to do. I wanted to do something performance-based. I was also kind of involved with organizing, so I knew that I'd have to be coming and going. So fish bowling was the answer. I live in a public space and I blog about it. That's what I did.
So what is the importance of networking? I mean, for artists and for people that are trying to, I guess, attain fame or attain recognition, how does networking work for them, and what is the importance of it?
Well, like with Nada Dada, with that event, we created something out of nothing, basically. Like I said, it's in motel rooms. Every town has motel rooms. So I think we were just trying to figure out a way to, bring something out of nothing. We have all these art galleries sitting there, basically. Mm-hmm. So the networking is really, I think that's core right there, what I just said, that you have to create an event. And I think that's what people are not aware of. Artists might be sitting around going, oh, nobody looks at my art. What? How would they know about your art? So you have to create an event,
right?
And that's what fish bowling is too. I sit in a window and look, maybe kind of ridiculous, and people would go, "What's this guy doing?" And then they tune in online, and that's kind of where the networking comes from. You create an interest, I think.
Interesting. So, have you met any fascinating people through this process?
I don't know if you've heard of him, but his name is Dustin Pickering. I've met him. Actually, we've still never met.
He's not that interesting. I know the guy really well. He's boring.
Quite honestly, it's been nice watching you develop. And I mean, like you and I mean, artists from different genres and different disciplines really need to get together, because what poets are doing and what visual artists are doing and what actors are doing, we can all use each other and help each other out. So what was your question?
Have you met any fascinating people in the process of, like, I don't know, famous people or, really charismatic figures of some sort?
I met, not Sonny and Cher, but Captain and Tennille. That was in Nevada. I did some paintings for a hospital, and she was the Nevada coordinator, the art coordinator.
Here with Chad doing Fishbowler.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't. Well, we lost our producer.
Oh no!
Let me get this flag back up on here. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about some of these images.
Fish bowling. Hey, I got a painting behind me. That's me just sitting there drawing. I'm in a display window. That was one of the first ones. I think that was the second one, a place called La Bussola, which was like a little art boutique. I sat in the window. I slept in the window, that window there. When the news showed up, I was actually asleep on the floor, and they didn't even get to interview me. But that was okay for the interview, because the point was, hey, this weirdo is sleeping in public windows, and we should check him out. Yeah.
So you drew a little bit of a crowd.
Yeah, I just drew during that one. That was my theme. I have a different thing going on each time. This is the car forest. That came later. Of course. That's Nevada. It exists. It's 40 cars sticking out of the ground. I had to mark our spot with Dada, the ultimate absurdity. Kind of like a bunch of cars sticking out of the ground. One of my portraits, Dalai Lama, that one's about 4 feet tall. That's the bus on fire. That was real. I'm going to paint this painting over and over. I've already done it twice. I'm going to do other copies, other paintings. Another bus painting. We have 2 real buses sticking out of the ground over there, and another one. That's in Nevada. And yeah, that's me. That's me.
Artist Sorg.
I'm glad you're asking me about networking and focusing on that, because to me, it's actually, I mean, I'm interested in instructing, helping, instruct people through, things I've had success with. And networking is something that I think a lot of artists are just kind of ignorant about, or maybe afraid of. I think there's a taste issue. They think, oh, that's, not tasteful. Well, it's a new age, and self-networking is an art form of its own, practically.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are kind of shy to self-promote, including myself sometimes. I have trouble just like pushing something on somebody, It feels kind of like, selfish, or some sort of, like being such an activist for yourself. It feels like you're getting in people's faces a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see yourself a little bit more into the center of the frame there? Because I can't.
I like it. I like it off center. Is centered?
A little bit low. Maybe raise the camera a little bit so people can see you.
Come on, Dustin. I had my whole artistic 3/4.
There you go.
Don't you know the rule of thirds? Can you hear me?
Yeah, the rule of thirds. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I can do it pretty good. I just on the networking thing. I had it. What was my why don't you tell me about network? Like what was a big hurdle for you? I mean why do we hold ourselves back? Yeah, my first thing was the first step, learning to connect with people, and I started locally. With Harbinger Asylum, the goal was a community thing, to bring other artists and other writers outside of the community to the community. And that was my goal. And at first I thought, how am I going to do this? And just, I started with like people I knew personally, and gradually that developed into who he knew and who they knew and the internet people that I found through libertarian communities and stuff, that started publishing them a little bit. And that's where we met, I believe, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, I don't know, something like that. And we, it just kind of like branched out, and sometimes it kind of happens organically. You meet somebody and they say, hey, let me introduce you to these guys. And sometimes you kind of have to be a little aggressive. And I'm not really an aggressive person. I don't mean aggressive like throwing punches, but I mean like aggressive, like going out and really, putting yourself out there a lot. I did a lot of events. I did a lot of, all kinds of stuff. And I would talk to people who they knew. I'd go out to other people's events and just say, hey, here's my card. I do this. And would you like to be involved if I liked what they were doing? And met quite a few people that way. And they branched out and they told other people about me. And, doing a journal that was so active in the, in a lot of the, like Duotrope and things like that on those sites, brought a lot of international attention to the journal, because people submitted, and you're doing something for other people, as you say in your bio. When you're offering something to somebody and they come to you because you're offering them something, then at some point they're going to offer you something, or even if it's sort of like a mutual exchange of
mutual,
goods, because
like
I can promote
an interview,
right? I can promote myself.
This interview.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
because
our show and it promotes you.
Interested in promoting my work, of course, but you guys need content, and that's what Fishbowler became. I started interviewing people because it was for the people to sit and watch me, but it gets boring. Gets boring after a while. So bringing people in was awesome. Like you, if I ever fishbowl down in Texas, is Houston, right? Are you in the Houston area? Yeah. If I fishbowl around Houston, I'll bring you in. It's really cool to feature other artists because then it's content. It's whole new content. Like what I do is one thing, but when you come in and you're going to have all these other things. And for me, it's like the audience is a bunch of other artist types that are like you and I, and, and they just, like you said, they don't know, how to get themselves out there and how to meet those other artists. I've met a lot of artists that they say that, artists of different kinds. Well, I'm a poet, but I don't know any other poets. Oh, really? Well, shit, they're out there, Yeah. You should meet these guys over here. And then, and that's where the networking comes, because maybe somebody over in Boston, there's something that you want to go to while you're in Boston to do a spoken word thing or something. And that's that networking thing. It's like so invaluable.
When you travel, I mean, you travel a lot to do this, right? I mean, it's like, it's integral to get outside your circle. I mean, it's important, very important to try to reach out to people all over, wherever you're going. I mean, even if I was to take a family vacation to, say, I don't know, Missouri or something, I may check out the local, stuff, the local arts communities and stuff, and just go in and say, hey, I'm from Texas. I do this. Maybe you'd be interested in the Texas community stuff and, that kind of thing, and just talk to people. And you get to learn a lot about life and everything, just from talking with other people and what they do.
My next fishbowler, I'm sorry, my next TED Talk, actually, I'm focusing on talking about fishbowling. And in this TED Talk, I think it's going to be, I don't know where I'm going to do it. We'll see who invites me to go talk in their city. TEDx, by the way, not TED. TEDx. I'm not up there yet. TED Talks are pretty high level, but TEDx though, I'm going to tell people how to fishbowl. I think it's going to be called How to Fishbowl, or fishbowling how to, something like that. In this talk, I want the artists to kind of think about what we've been discussing here. Like, I got this great painting, but nobody's going to see it. Well, think about that. And as far as fishbowling, you sit in a window and it's your style. You do whatever you want. So if you don't feel like painting, don't paint. If you do feel like painting, paint. If you want to interview artists, that's kind of something I found from the fishbowl. I'm a big fan of David Letterman. I like David Letterman. He's from Indiana, and he's got like a sarcasm that I relate to. So his art form, is what during fishbowling, I started to realize that he's got his own art form, interviewing somebody. There's a style to it. You can be, serious and not make jokes and, don't interrupt. or you can interrupt and be a jackass and make jokes. You know, I mean, there's all kinds of styles of the interviews. So, and that was a lot of fun to
I
learn
liked him
that new
too.
genre.
Yeah, Letterman, he always had that kind of like nonchalant way of making these little snide comments that were really funny.
Yeah.
And he would make them like
Yeah.
they're not funny, you know, like, yeah, okay, this is not funny, but it really is, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about him is this the irony of his humor.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think of, like, as far as people attending and watching and absorbing what you do? What kind of reactions do you get?
Well, I was actually just thinking about one of the coolest, you know, a lot of times the interviews are just other artists just doing, you know, here's the pictures that I make. And it's not like it's, you know, important. I mean, sure, I'll go ahead and say that my paintings aren't important. They're just pictures. But some people actually have a really important, serious issue. And there was a woman that she was an artist and she wanted to call attention to, it was about infertility. Couples, you know, women with infertility and couples that want to have children and what they have to go through, the struggles. And it was like, it ended up being this real serious thing, but she was such a sweetie. She brought me this awesome food and we had a lot of things to talk about. And she really made that interview really interesting. I think because she had been doing it, she had been interviewing, and she knew the content. This is something else I want to tell artists, like, have pictures ready. Artists are like made for interviews. Look at that. I mean, a poet can't do that. You know, a writer can't do that. An actor could, I don't know, they could act on camera. But what an artist can do is make the image beautiful. So always have your pictures ready and your stuff ready. Like this woman, she sort of illustrated what she was saying because she was also an artist. So that kind of thing is really cool. Like, what I mean is thinking of multimedia presentations as you're out talking to the public.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely important. Like, you know, you're a salesman of sorts, you know, if you're an artist, you know, you have to have your presentation available, you know, and show people what you're worth. I mean, otherwise they're not interested. I know from my own experiences in poetry, it seems like only poets are mostly interested in poetry. And do you find that you can branch out a lot easier with visual arts than, say, with writing, or is there a difference really in how you approach people?
Yeah, as you know, I dabble in poetry a bit, in writing, and yeah, I'm totally with you on that. I just, so many times, you probably heard this so many times, you get done reading a poem and then they go, "Oh, that's nice. I just don't understand poetry."
Right.
Okay, how do you not do you understand English? Okay, then think about the words, and I'm not going to be mean, but but no, what I mean is, people almost, they want to have an excuse of why they don't have some clever comeback, like, "Oh, I thought your didactic, you know, syllogism, you know, whatever," you know, and they feel embarrassed because, you know, I don't make any sense with what I just said.
Yeah.
So it's the same with visual art. But at least with visual art, they can go, "Oh, pretty picture, you know, pretty pictures."
Yeah, true.
And they don't have that much that they have to
say.
Like
to the emotive feelings and stance of the poet, rather than try to take apart line by line. You know, you can, if the poet's a good performer, for instance, then I know performance poets do pretty well selling and getting their message.
Wow.
Yeah, they do a pretty good
job. That's interesting. I wondered about that. Okay. So that it's kind of too bad, because people need that performance aspect to really sink in. Is that kind of how you feel? I guess, because when I read, I don't need somebody to.
Yeah. I think that people like the bombastic, you know, presentation that gets them involved a little bit. You know, I guess that's what it is. I mean, I think the more you can draw in a person to your art, the better it's going to be. Better you're going to see the reactions from people.
Yeah. You know, I have an observation on that from galleries. I had a gallery of my own, and I noticed very pointedly that people, you know what, a picture on the wall, okay, it's nice or whatever, but they don't react like if the person is standing there. There's something about that human interaction. It's hard to put it into words. At first I felt bad about it because I didn't want to be there. I'm not a performer. I don't want to be there. I just want to hang paintings. That's why I'm a visual artist. but I came to realize, hey, you got to be there.
Yeah, I think and being in person with poetry, I know for a fact it's like, just having yourself available to talk and just be a human being. People, it's really important to draw people into your work, because then they get to know you. I know I've sold books like more in person than a lot of times online. Trying to do social media interactions, it's like you're just an abstraction to people, really. And if there's a cat, oh, we lost you. Well, no, we didn't lose you. You just got sidelined. We're going to take a brief break, but we'll be right back with more interesting comments from Chad and Fish Bowler. So please enjoy this commercial break. America Open Market, AO Market. The best digital market for humanity is a free, multilingual, borderless market open to international sellers with various languages included. With America Open Market, you may start selling in minutes after filling out the form. Comprehensive dashboard where you understand your sales, orders, and customers is available. You get paid directly, securely, and instantly on the America Open Market. You can sell your house, car, electronic laptop, CD player, boombox, phone, headphones, furniture, and clothing, and anything on AmericaOpenMarket.com, where all your sales and customer needs are met. Register as a merchant today. You will not regret becoming a vendor at America Open Market. For further inquiries, contact us at aomarket@gmail.com. AO Market, best digital marketplace for humanity.
In a world where the quality of information available to poorer communities is doctored, tainted, and sometimes regressive, where the words fake news have come to mean other people's opinions, it is vital to rely on news platforms with journalists who have feet on the ground and can report the truth. New York PARROT, a New York-based national and global news outlet, is changing the narratives of media operations. We focus on the news that matters, like self-empowerment, entrepreneurship, finances, health, security, politics, and more. We strive to curb violence, racial and economic discrimination, and to promote peace and socio-economic development of multiculturally diverse world. As we give voice to the people, we also give your business a voice and make it heard. Get your product and services off the ground by advertising on our fast-growing platform. With so much of daily visits to New York PARROT, you can't afford to be invisible to prospective clients on the website they trust the most. Our posts reach millions of people across the New York State and around the world. Advertising on our new site will unlock an audience of thousands of potential customers on your doorstep. New York PARROT is born to prosperously speak tomorrow for the voiceless.
Welcome back to World Inkers Network. I'm Dustin Pickering. Today we have Chad Sorg, who seems to have vanished from the atmosphere. We were discussing Fish Bowler, his project. We'll see if he comes back on. In the meantime, I'm going to discuss a little bit about some of our ongoing projects here at World Inkers Network and World Inkers Printing and Publishing. Just keep an eye out for this Albanian anthology. It's going to be an excellent addition to your collection. If you want to buy a copy, $16. It'll be up and running on Amazon pretty soon here. So keep a lookout. And if you don't buy it, we won't be able to sell it to you. Just remember that. And if we don't sell it to you, you haven't bought it. Just remember that. No. In seriousness, though, we have Troy Camplin's books coming out soon as well. He's an excellent multidisciplinary scholar. His books are about resentment and gratitude, conversely, in the lines of William Blake's Songs of Innocence on one hand, Songs of Experience on the other. And my hands are invisible today. I want to make note of that. You can't see them unless I put them up like this. So just remember, we need your support as people viewing. We love the viewership. We love your comments if you want to leave comments. And you guys out there definitely are part of our lifeline. Help support us by spreading the word. Tell others about us. That's a good way to help us continue to communicate with other artists there. And we've got Chad back in the studio with us. Let's put him back on. Hey, there you go, brother.
Miss you
for a second there. I just did some promotion for us, so we have a little more talking to do, I guess. We have about 15 more minutes into the program, and I was just giving people some heads up on some of our upcoming projects for World Inkers Printing and Publishing. So speaking of promoting and so forth, here's Chad Sorg again, back online with us. So what we're talking about the importance of networking. And a lot of artists are shy about networking and so forth. Why do you think that is?
I've actually been doing some videos on the topic of self-love, and this is what I found out. If you've ever been on the dating scene, if you've ever watched dating advice videos, it's always about let her walk away, let her walk away. Okay, well, what that's all about is self-love. Self-love is about being self-contained, not giving a crap what they think. Well, you can take, you can go overboard on that, just be a total jerk, and you're just doing everything to contradict everyone. Well, that's also not self-love. That's overdoing it. That's overcompensating, trying to build a wall. But an artist, someone in the dating scene, just basically everybody, we need to learn how to self-love. And to answer your question, I think it's a lot of people that are afraid to fail. Malcolm McLaren, who is said to have founded punk rock, I think that's not true. If you talk to Johnny Rotten, if you talk to Johnny Rotten, some other
the New York scene as well. Go ahead.
CBGB, right?
Yeah. Detroit.
But he's got a great quote though. McLaren does. He says, he said, well, it's something about you can't be afraid to fail. He said, fail grandly. That's his advice. He said, how do you succeed? You fail grandly. And
a lot of quotes,
a young artist that doesn't understand that, like, why would you say that in the negative? Well, I say that we would say that in the negative because you got to get over it. If you got to do speeches, if you have to date, just get over it. Go ask that girl out. She's going to turn you down. Get over it. Move on. Just keep going. Keep going. You're going to go give a speech. You're going to be super nervous. You're going to be all blotchy red. Just understand that's the way it's going to be. Get over it. And the way, you move through it. Hang a painting and you're going to get criticized. Get over it. You got to just move on. And that's about self-love. That's when you just let go of, the expectations that, oh, if I fail at this, then I guess I'm no good. No, that's not true at all. If you fail at this, it doesn't mean a damn thing. It means maybe nobody was home.
Learn something.
They couldn't watch your episode. It means maybe she's got a boyfriend. Maybe she likes girls. There's a million things. So there's no point in, judging our failures too quickly. You fail, just don't worry about it. Keep moving. Don't even think about that failure until later.
Fail grandly. That's good advice. Go out with a song or something. If you're gonna be excommunicated from the scene, go out with a big grandiose speech about "fuck you all," just "fuck you all." David Crockett said when he was booted out of Tennessee, I think it was. He said, something like, "Y'all can go to hell. I'm going to Texas." Place and be there. I think that's great advice. I mean, and then they say about entrepreneurs, sometimes they have multiple attempts before they get anywhere. Even these filthy rich people that we like to criticize so much. I mean, they had to keep going, and some of them were in fact born into it, but some of them just kept putting down money and putting down efforts, and they didn't go anywhere until finally something just snapped and it went straight into it. It takes a lot of effort. I've been doing this for, since 2010, I've been in publishing. I haven't made much money. I've made a good name for myself internationally. That's about it. But so what's the difference between fame and money? We've talked about this personally. What difference make fame in your life versus having a good set of money behind you, backing you up from what you're doing? What difference is that to you?
Have you ever heard of Andrew Tate?
I've recognized the name, but I don't know who that is.
He's this cocky bald guy. He doesn't even have this much hair. He's shaving bald. He's a cocky guy that you'll see. He's all over the internet right now, making a big stink because he got censored, like I did. But I'm not famous. But what I love about this guy, Andrew Tate, he got censored recently, and that's because he's going against the narrative. I'm not going to get political on this episode, but he's saying things that, you know, the narrative, they don't want us to say certain things about the injection, etc. So this guy, Andrew Tate, I think he's a great example of what we're talking about. You said, what's the difference between fame and money? He became a famous kickboxer. And that was as far as he had imagined, I think. In his mind, he wanted to get rich and famous. Well, he got famous, but you don't make that much as a kickboxer. I don't know how much that much is. Maybe he can afford a Ferrari and that's about it. I don't know what, but he said that he got to a level where he understood he's at the top. He was 4-time world champion or 5-time world champion or something. And he said, there's no money. He said, he just looked at what he's doing. He said, there's no possibility to make the money that I want to at this career. So he becomes the best kickboxer in the world, and then he finds out, shit, I can't make any money at it. So he went into OnlyFans, I guess. He got some girls and, you know, went that route, and he made money. Now, is that like respectable and all that? Nope, it's not. But he wanted to make money. He didn't want to be respectable. And what I like listening to that guy for is that he's just, you know, a jerk. He's not real likable. He's abrasive. And he says nasty things, but damn it, you got to listen to the guy. Like, one of his pieces of advice is these people that can't take an insult, you insult them and then they're just turned off. He's like, you dumb fucker. Mike Tyson is teaching you how to fight, but he calls you a fucking retard. And you stop listening. He's like, it's Mike Tyson. It's Mike Tyson. Get over your stupid little ego and move on, you fucking retard, and learn how to box from the best, you know? But that ego just gets in the way, doesn't it? We can't, you can't insult me. Like, I don't care. Judge the hell out of me, you know? And that's the attitude that's why I'm listening to assholes like, Andrew Tate, because you know, being nice is not.
If I called you an asshole, it would just roll off your back, basically.
Yeah. People say asshole, and I agree.
Yeah, it's just a word. Let people say what they will. You know, just let them talk. Let everybody talk, and you know, that brings more negative attention to you is better than no attention, right? In terms of marketing.
It's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard. We all have ego. You know, we all have ego problems. Like, you know, I don't want anybody talking bad about me. But you got to practice that. You got to practice getting insulted. You know, just get insulted.
If you're going to put yourself out there at all, you know, I mean, and then the current atmosphere is like, there's not just insults that take people down. I mean, there are accusations that can be very harmful to people's reputations that come out. And it makes it a very heated atmosphere for artists, especially right now, you know, because there's the MUTIU and all that, which I support in theory, you know, but there's a lot of pointing, you know, they just say, oh, that guy pissed me off, so I'm going to say he did this. You know, and it's hard. It's really hard to have that accusation thrown at you. So, I mean, it's hard to just try to slander you.
We each have a voice now, more than we used to, you know. So somebody, you know, a jilted ex, you know, can actually talk shit about you and have people listen. So that's probably different than it used to be. We didn't have a voice platform.
Media gives it, social media. There's a lot of people's reputation is destroyed. Somebody could just make a post right now about me, like he touched me in the wrong way or something, and it's like suddenly that snowballs and everyone's saying, oh, that Pickering guy is not such a nice after all. And then to that I say, you know, what can I say if someone says that? You know, I mean, just nothing. That's how. You know, if anybody throws accusations at me that aren't true, I'm just not responding. That's as simple as that. Because it's just I've had people do that, and I've tried to argue with them. It's like, what did I do to you? And they can't tell me. I'm like, you know, it happened a few years ago to me for friending a conservative poet who was not very disliked in the community. Her name was Rachel Custer, and we became really good friends, and he'd been an enemy to a certain group that I hung out with, and they just turned on me and started saying, one woman said I sexually harassed her at a reading, and I said, what did I say? She said, you commented on my appearance. You commented on my appearance. Well, what did I say that offended you? That's what I asked her. I said, I don't. And she said she wouldn't tell me what I said. And I said, well, if I told you you look nice or something, that's not sex harassment. I say that to everyone that comes through the Barnes and Noble that is coming to our reading. Hey, you look great. Nice to see you. That's pretty much what I said. Man, she turned it in, and it's all. And there was a lot of crazy people out there that'll believe anything, and that they have nothing better to do. Yeah,
and as artists and people in the spotlight, like you might go to like in that situation, that the venue, we represent people, and so then it gets really tricky. If I get accused of something heinous, it's like, you're bringing me down, but also this, the place where the business that I'm at, that I'm representing. And if it's completely untrue, like you said, you have nothing you can do about it. But that kind of stuff, like with fish bowling, is extremely important. Yeah, I can drink beer and stuff, but there, a lot of things I can't do because I am actually representing the, location to an extent. And on that, like with fish bowling, with the vendors, actually, I want to talk about money. Mm-hmm. We talked a little bit about that. I'm changing subjects. Okay,
that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
We with fish bowling, I have to go into a place and get them to trust me, So with that, I'll tell them, the media. I've been in New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Huffington Post, et cetera, USA Today, and some other ones, big ones, really big ones. So I tell them that, and that's usually helpful, but they're still looking at you like, who is this guy? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff. What am I trying to say? I call it the 5 facets of the fishbowl. One of the facets is art and business marry well, is what I say. They marry well, but they marry well if your art is serving the purpose of the location. Let's say a bookstore. I do a painting of books or whatever. So yeah. So with fish bowling, that's something I'm really interested to see how artists and business people can, work together.
Interesting. So we have about 2.5 minutes. Do you want to give any shout outs or give any words of advice to fellow artists out there?
Well, watch for my TED Talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Watch for my TED Talk. I'm going to be I'm looking for locations around the country to do fish bowling. So if you're understanding what this is all about, the picture behind Dustin there is a furniture store on Sunset Boulevard called Living Room. It's called Living Room, and that's where I lived. So it was for a week. Usually I do it for 5 days. That's about 120 hours. I go in Sunday night and leave Friday evening like a job. That's how I do it. I'll stay in the window of a bookstore or whatever, but no money. This is what I was getting to. There's no money. For a while, I was trying to figure out how to make money off of this, and I decided making no money is the best way to do it. The whole point is that promotion is not money, but it's valuable.
Absolutely. Well, so it's been wonderful talking with you today, and hopefully we'll wish you the best of success in fish bowling and so forth. And we'll probably have another interview with you soon, and some more advice from successful and famous artist Chad Sorg. USA Today, New York Times. Excellent. I mean, that's a good resume, and I like what you said about building trust. That's really very positive. Remember, you can donate to our program at paypal.me/nyparrot. paypal.me/nyparrot. That's where you can donate some hard-earned to support some hard-working artists and people like us. And we do this program free of charge, and we want to keep it that way. And we want you to be part of our entity. So please donate to us if you have a little extra money. paypal.me/nyparrot. If you want something in exchange, rather than donate, you can buy books we produce. We have several out there. We're going to have several more coming out soon. We have the Peace December Speaks anthology, the Armistice, and we have the pair anthologies you can buy from series 1 to series 3. So please take a look at that on Amazon. It's a wonderful way to support artistry all across the globe because we promote as many artists worldwide as we can, including Chad Sorg. So if you missed this program today, go back and watch it again. Man, we had some excellent conversation, and I think you would love to get some advice from us and from Chad especially. He's been very successful at what he's doing. So keep it up. Keep out the networking and everything. And if you want to be on this program, you can get in touch with me, Dustin Pickering, at publication.worldinkers@gmail.com. And that's a good way to reach out to me to be on the program. Just send me a bio and a headshot. You can also just Facebook me. I'm on Dustin Pickering. You can just send me a message on Facebook. I'll give you any information you need to have to be on the program. So thanks for joining us, Chad, and you guys out there watching today. I hope you have an excellent day. Get to writing.
In a world where the quality of information available to poorer communities is doctored, tainted and sometimes regressive, where the words fake news have come to mean other people's opinions, it is vital to rely on news platforms with journalists who have feet on the ground and can report the truth. New York PARROT, a New York-based national and global news outlet, is changing the narratives of media operations. We focus on the news that matters, like self-empowerment, entrepreneurship, finances, health, security, politics, and more. We strive to curb violence, racial and economic discrimination, and to promote peace and socio-economic development of multiculturally diverse world. As we give voice to the people, we also give your business a voice and make it heard. Get your product and services off the ground by advertising on our fast-growing platform. With so much of daily visits to New York PARROT, you can't afford to be invisible to prospective clients on the websites they trust the most. Our posts reach millions of people across the New York state and around the world. Advertising on our news site will unlock an audience of thousands of potential customers on your doorstep. New York PARROT is born to prosperously speak tomorrow for the voice.